Hey everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records. It is time for us to take a quick check into some of the new releases headed to an independent record store near you. And as always, just the tip of the iceberg, we're only going to cover the highlights for this upcoming week. But if you'd like to see the full list of everything that we don't get to, all you have to do is head over to our website at radiowasteland.com. From there, look for the upcoming releases link, click on that, and you'll see a PDF that has the full list of everything scheduled for this upcoming week. Lots of new releases and a few cool reissues coming up for the week of August 29th, 2025. Let's dive right into those new ones. And kicking things off is a big one, brand new stuff from Sabrina Carpenter. Two versions of Man's Best Friend that we can tell you about here. Actually, the cover, you know what? I think Spinal Tap got an album cover banned for doing something similar to this, but that's another story. Back to the 80s. Yes, I do remember the 80s. Anyhow, Sabrina Carpenter, Man's Best Friend. The standard edition is coming on blue colored vinyl. And our description says that Man's Best Friend is the latest edition from global pop star Sabrina Carpenter, coming off her Grammy-winning project, Short and Sweet, and numerous multi-platinum singles added to her resume. The latest from Carpenter is bursting with high-energy pop and crisscrossing genres in only a way that she can. So again, the blue vinyl version of this, even coming at this late date, I'm a little unclear on the exact suggested retail price, but I think that's going to be around $40. So the blue vinyl version, right around $40, and I think that the indie exclusive is going to be the same price. That indie exclusive, by the way, is coming on green colored vinyl, mint green colored vinyl. Let's see if we can get the exact ones. The light blue vinyl and sea foam vinyl is the indie exclusive, and each of those coming right in at around that $39, $40 price tag. So could be a hard release to get a hold of. If it's something you're interested in, please let me know. This is the type of one that if you need one, you're going to have to reserve it, and we'll make sure that we have one for you if you get that pre-order in yet this weekend. Okay, up next on the new release front, something brand new from the one and only Belinda Carlisle. This is called Once Upon a Time in California. We've got two different versions to tell you about. The first being a limited edition colored vinyl pressing. Our description says that Once Upon a Time in California is the new release from the icon that is Belinda Carlisle. The music legend returns to her roots with an album of 10 new studio tracks, all of which were recorded in her native Los Angeles. It sees the singer take a deeply personal journey through the golden sounds of her youth with a collection of immaculate cover versions, all of them steeped in the spirit of her California upbringing. Two different versions, as mentioned, the first being a 140-gram sunset-colored vinyl, single LP on this one. That one coming in at a suggested list price of $35. And then there is a picture disc version of this as well. $39 is the suggested retail price. But again, two versions of Belinda Carlisle's Once Upon a Time in California, the colored vinyl version or the picture disc. Two versions also of a brand new one from Margo Price. This is called Hard-Headed Woman. Our description says that for nearly a decade, Margo Price has created a lane where independent-minded, insurgent country music can exist and thrive alongside the mainstream. Now she's back with an exquisite, timeless album that reconnects her with her roots. Hard-Headed Woman, brand new stuff from Margo Price. There is a black vinyl version of this coming in at a suggested list price of $25. And then the indie exclusive version of this, $26. Just $1 more than the regular version, but for that you get red colored vinyl, and this has an autograph inside. Doesn't say if it's on the cover or if it's on a card inside. It just says an autograph star-signed indie exclusive. Again, brand new one, Hard-Headed Woman from Margo Price. We've also got some new stuff coming up from The Hives, and I had to read this title correctly. It's called The Hives Forever, Forever the Hives. This is the band's 7th studio album, and it's a razor-sharp culmination of their rupturing signature powder keg sound, that's according to the New York Times, rock and roll energy that initially captured the zeitgeist during the garage rock revival in the early 2000s. So the Hives continue to reach sky high on this new album, with the majority of it being recorded in one take, so that could be interesting. Black vinyl version of The Hives Forever, Forever the Hives, $32 is the suggested list price for that. And then there is an indie exclusive on gold-colored vinyl, a little more expensive. This one also an autograph like the Margo Price, so it doesn't say if it's autographed on the cover somewhere or if there's an insert, but it is an autographed version from The Hives. $38 is the suggested list price there. Onward now to the slate of reissues scheduled for the 29th of August, and kicking things off is a pair from Supertramp. We have got Crime of the Century and Crisis, What Crisis? Both of these are half-speed master reissues, so the sound quality is going to be phenomenal. Crime of the Century was Supertramp's era-defining third album that catapulted them to global success in 1974. This one, as mentioned, a half-speed master coming on 180-gram black vinyl. $40 is the suggested list price for that. And Crisis, What Crisis, released just about a year after Crime of the Century, gets the same treatment, half-speed mastered, 180-gram black vinyl, $40, also the suggested list price there. Up next is a high-fidelity reissue from Wilco. This one being called a limited edition. No other information. It's on black vinyl. But Wilco AM, high fidelity reissue coming from Rhino in their hi-fi reissue series. $40 is the suggested list price here. Here's an anniversary edition of How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful from Florence and the Machine. This is a 10th anniversary edition, and the description says, for this anniversary of How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful, Republic Records presents the original album on limited edition blue marbled vinyl. Double LP housed in a single sleeve with 2 printed inner sleeves and a 4-page booklet included, as well as a 10 by 10 exclusive print. Double LP on that marbled vinyl anniversary edition of How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful from Florence and the Machine. $46 is the suggested list price for that. Going back to something from Rhino, but not a hi-fi release, but still a cool one. Tango in the Night from Fleetwood Mac is being reissued for the 29th. This 3 times platinum certified 1987 studio album features the classic lineup of Stevie Nicks, Christy McVie, Lindsey Buckingham, John McVie, and Mick Fleetwood. Pressed on 180-gram black vinyl, this reissue of Tango in the Night from Fleetwood Mac coming in at a suggested list price of $32. Got a few up next from Motorhead, and we're kicking it off with No Sleep Till Hammersmith. This one coming on yellow and black swirl, kind of color and color vinyl. Also a half-speed mastered. Our description says that No Sleep Till Hammersmith was Motorhead's first definitive live album, recorded across shows in Leeds and Newcastle in England. It is considered one of the best live albums of all time and represents one of the band's best outings on the album charts, peaking at number 1 in the UK. Originally released in 1981, this single LP on that yellow and black swirl vinyl, half-speed mastered, as we mentioned, coming in at a suggested price of $30. Also on the live stuff from Motorhead, we've got No Sleep at All. This one coming on clear vinyl with black and white splatter. And the description says that No Sleep at All was Motorhead's 1988 live album, recorded at the Giants of Rock Festival in Finland because, hey, why not? That's according to our description. So No Sleep at All from Motorhead's single LP, clear vinyl with black and white splatter. $30 is the suggested list price there. And then, not to be outdone, we have got a reissue of No Remorse from Motorhead coming on double LP red and black splatter vinyl. Our description says that if No Sleep Till Hammersmith was Motorhead's definitive live album, then 1984's No Remorse was certainly their definitive compilation record that remains one of their classic records to this day. So No Remorse, the compilation from Motorhead, red and black splatter double LP, this one coming in at a suggested list price of $40. About something from Clutch up next, and a reissue of Psychic Warfare. Limited edition blue smoke colored vinyl. This one has also been digitally remastered. Psychic Warfare from Clutch, single LP on that colored vinyl. $25 is the suggested list price. A few different ones up next from Funkadelic and their self-titled Funkadelic. The description says that released in 1970, this Funkadelic self-titled debut was a radical collision of psychedelic rock, gospel, blues, and soul, a chaotic, genre-defying statement that redefined the possibilities of music. It goes on to say that where Motown was aiming for polish and crossover appeal, Funkadelic dove headfirst into distortion, improvisation, and spiritual ambiguity, offering a sound as gritty and unpredictable as the era itself. Okay, so here we go. The standard edition is coming on purple colored vinyl from Funkadelic. This one listing for $34. And then there is also a black vinyl version of this. Looks to be the same stuff, but $33. A little bit cheaper is the list price for there. I also see a cassette on here if you want one of those, $13. But there is a 45 RPM edition. So again, they probably sped this one up. Turned it into a double LP just to work on that audio quality a little bit more. So the 45 RPM edition of Funkadelic self-titled coming in at a suggested list price of $60. And how about a couple of soundtracks to wrap us up for the week? First up is Mamma Mia, the original cast recording coming from ABBA. Our description says that this is the original London cast of Mamma Mia, the musical. Originally released to commemorate the launch of the London production of Mamma Mia, the musical in 1999. This original cast recording is now available on vinyl for the very first time. Double LP on blue and white colored vinyl. This one coming in at a suggested list price of $46. And then finally, we've got a soundtrack that is a fun one, officially titled, "This is the album of the soundtrack of the trailer of the film of Monty Python and the Holy Grail." This is a 50th anniversary edition where you can celebrate 5 decades of absurdity with this senior executive metallic gold vinyl reissue of Monty Python's first soundtrack album, an audio companion to their classic Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Originally released in 1975, this album is far more than a traditional soundtrack. It is a riotous blend of iconic scenes, exclusive sketches, and comedic songs. And even more so, this 2025 version includes the bonus tracks Arthur's Song and the Runaway Song for the first time on vinyl. Good news is, if your needle drags across this, you can say 'tis but a scratch. So we'll go from there. Monty Python, the album of the soundtrack of the trailer of the film of Monty Python and the Holy Grail on gold-colored vinyl, Grail, if you will, colored vinyl. $26 is the suggested list price for that. 'Tis a silly movie anyway. And that is a quick check of some of the releases headed our way for Friday, the 29th of August, 2025. If you're local and you see something that you'd like us to pre-order, just contact us here at the store and we'll get that in for you. If you'd like to see that full list, also, you can head over to our website at radiowasteland.com, look for the upcoming releases link, click on that, and you'll see the full list of everything there is to have coming out on the 29th. Same thing with that full list. If you see something on there you'd like us to pre-order, just contact us and we'll get that in for you. So until next time, this is Jim from Radio Wasteland. Thanks a lot for being here.